Hi, Daniel Hayes here, video blog 40, I think, 38, 39, who cares, I don't know. Today I'm going to talk about some killer listing scripts, and I want to talk about some of the stuff we do here. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I do personally, which wins business. In my first year of real estate, I sold 88 of my own listings, never been in sales before, never had any training. So I don't believe this is, I don't believe this is an industry where you need to sit with the earphones on 24/7 listening, learning how to do stuff. You just got to get out there and do it and have a red hot go. So some of the stuff that I do is, I think closing the deal, I think there's a whole choreograph of stuff you do prior to actually speaking to a potential vendor. And there's two types of listings that I believe, and there's only two types of listings. There's ones you're referred into and there's ones you're not. The ones you're not are always much harder to get because they've come through the book, through the office. You're normally competing against 3 or 4 agents. And generally, unless you're really, really, really good, you tend to win it on a really low commission and a really high price. And that's the bottom line. Then there's the other type of listing, which is a referral. That way, you might only be you that gets called in, or it might just be 1 or 2, they're just price checking. So, they're the two sorts of listings. Both listings, and there's a choreograph of events and everything, and that starts from branding to how you're perceived out there in the marketplace, to the moment they ring up, what's that like, to the questions you ask, to the pre-listing kit, and then when you eventually turn up to the door. I'm going to talk about when you get in the home. This is what I do when I get into the home. I do this religiously every time. I greet them, g'day. I've always got a personal assistant with me, always. I don't do any writing at all. All I do is talk. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at talking. The PA takes everything. He's a pen and paper and he basically shuts up. I always offer to take my shoes off at every house. Always do it, non-negotiable. The reason is because I think it's polite to do that. Okay? Next thing I do is we say g'day, shake the vendor's hand, and I ask them, and this question's already been asked, but I ask them again. I ask them to tell me the story, what's happening. Are they selling, or are they just finding out what the property's worth in the current market? I already know that question because I've already answered it. They've also been sent a form to fill out, tick the boxes, but I ask it again. And then I ask straight away, have they got any idea where they think their property sits on the market? So they're going to tell me that as well. Generally, sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. So straight away, I'm looking for information. I don't talk a lot. I ask the questions and then I listen. Okay, and my PA will be writing everything down. We then walk around and look at the house. Okay, and we look at it in detail. We go into every room. I'll make a note. I'm quite animated. We'll notice that the decorative cornice. Andy, take a note of that. Andy, make a note of the 10-foot ceilings. Andy, make a note of the polished floors. Andy, make a note that inside the walls there's beams that have been built more closely together than other homes. So we make a note of everything. We look at the kitchen. We look for the money shot. We might go into the kitchen and say, wow, there's the money shot there, and we might say, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, do you agree with that? And they might say yes. So we get quite excited about it, and we get enthused about it, and we know our stuff. And so that's sort of the entry process, and we'll walk around the house to take a lot of detailed notes. And so what I'm doing is I'm talking a lot, I'm building a relationship, building a rapport with them, and it becomes it all, depending on what they're like, it all becomes very jovial and very relaxed, and we unwind and we get to know each other. So if I'm looking for signals on the door, on the wall, if there's pictures of their kids, I might know their kids. If there's kids similar ages, I'm looking to relate and identify that and have a discussion about that. And it's not that I'm deliberately doing that. It's just that that's who I am. I'm really nosy and I want to know everything for some reason. So I'm asking lots of questions. I'm not telling them how good I am. I'm not doing that. They would have got my testimonial pack. 50% of people read them and 50% don't. And I know that the 50% that read them, I stand a much better chance of closing the deal. So, look, I won't go into all the sequence. I'll use that for another time. But that's sort of my entry of how I get into the home and what I start doing. Okay, I don't change that sequence. Always a PA. Always taking my shoes off. Taking point notes. Okay, and I'll finish the little chat today on this. If you don't have a PA, it's because you are a PA in real estate. You just don't know it yet. That's a video blog for today.